All right, welcome to our flip video series on early civilizations. And this particular video is going to be in two parts. And what we're going to be looking at is what features make up a civilization. So to start off, what we've got is cities. And when we think about the very earliest civilizations, location is going to be a key. People settled in fertile river valleys, and this allowed for growth. And most importantly, it allowed for crops to be planted. And the natural transition of these crops is surplus in food. So what we've got is an increased food supply, bringing about an increased population because there was plenty of food to go around, and people were able to stay in one particular area. What we have is the creation of several cities, right, such as Ur and Sumer and Babylon and Mesopotamia. The next feature that we're going to be looking at is central government. The result of food surpluses needed management. Someone had to manage those food surpluses. And that's where government comes into play. The growth of cities require people to oversee food supply, food storage, and distribution, among other things. Councils, religious leaders, and governments were needed to manage this growth, both of the food surplus and as well as of the labor that came about as a result of that food surplus. The next thing that we have are public works. Governments organized and oversaw things such as irrigation canals, building projects, as well as security measures to protect these early cities. And I want you to think about some other examples of public works that we would see in cities today, and try to draw some comparisons between early civilizations and today. The next thing that we have is writing. And writing is going to be extremely important to early civilizations. First and foremost was a need to create records. And those records, the very earliest of them, kept track of trade goods, kept track of food storage. As a result of that food surplus of where these early civilizations settled. We also see writing become important when it comes to beliefs as well as laws. And these things needed to be expressed in other ways besides just pictures and simple words. So writing begins to serve as a means of communication for the population of these early civilizations. And what you have is a blending of different people coming into an area. So writing unifies those people together. For the end of this first part of our look at the features of early civilizations, I have some questions that I want you to consider and to think about. First, what did people do prior to settling into specific areas? Second, what are nomads and hunter-gatherers? And then finally, in your opinion, what sustained these early civilizations? In other words, what do you think was needed to make sure that people could settle and stay in these particular areas? When we go into the next part of our video series, we will examine the other four features that are needed in order for these early civilizations to be and stay where they were at.